When enrolling a child to their first school, parents might ask, is this school going to help my child become smarter, happier, confident, respectful, and independent? Today, we're here to show you what Montessori is all about. The Montessori method of education is a systematic approach developed by a woman named Maria Montessori. Maria Montessori's insight into children came about through her close scientific observations and evaluations of children's development. As she focused on the development of the whole child, she discovered children to be natural learners who have the drive to gain knowledge and experiences. It became clear to her that children can reach their full potential in a specially prepared environment. Maria Montessori studied physics, math, and natural sciences at the University of Rome. She became eligible to study medicine in 1892. In 1896, Maria Montessori received her doctorate of medicine degree and became the first female doctor in Italy. She worked as an assistant doctor at the psychiatric clinic at the University of Rome, and a year later she lectures the importance of educating children with learning differences. Dr. Maria Montessori was involved with many institutions and continued her research. In 1899 to 1904, she became a lecturer in hygiene and anthropology. She educated children with learning differences and was convinced that all children could learn and benefit from the Montessori principles. Dr. Montessori opened her first school called Casa dei Bambini in San Lorenzo, Italy, and she envisioned a new kind of education that would be part of a broad social program. Dr. Montessori observed children from birth to adulthood and noticed patterns and similarities during specific ages and stages in their life. Maria Montessori emphasizes that the child from birth to 6 years old is the most critical period of a child's development, where they retain all information from their surroundings. She calls this the absorbent mind.
Smile! Yeah! Hi! Can you open and close? Open and close. Open and close your hand.
From 0 to 3 years of age, it is an unconscious mind driven by something called the horn, which is the vital urge to learn. Although it is unconscious, it is by no means inferior to the conscious mind of the adult. From ages 3 to 6 years old, the horn is now replaced by the will, and the mind of the child is now conscious to learn. So whether it is a positive environment or a negative environment that the child is learning from, it becomes a part of the child's personality, because everything the child has experienced in his or her life from 0 to 6 years old is imprinted and stored in his or her unconscious memory, called the neem. Maria Montessori's research also focused on what she called sensitive periods during a child's early years. A sensitive period is simply when a child is intensely interested in one particular area. He or she is sensitive to it. The sensitive periods are movement, language, refinement of senses, order, grace and courtesy, and small objects. When walking into an authentic Montessori classroom environment in any country, you may notice many similar characteristics. It includes the physical environment, teachers, and the child. The space is structured and orderly so that students can freely choose materials. The physical environment is safe, clean, calm, and stimulating with real-life child-sized materials. These purposeful materials provide chances for success and help develop independence. The teacher also plays an important role in the prepared environment because they are the keepers and custodians of the environment, meant to entice the new children to work. The teacher respects each child individually, is consistent and unwavering, patient and kind, and humble and creative. Maria Montessori always said that the teacher must be a saint, a scientist, and a servant to the child. The attractive materials in the environment are considered voices calling children to work with them. They are real life, color coded, displayed, and stored attractively. The materials are also limited, self correcting, autodidactic, and complete. The practical life activities are specifically chosen to reflect the culture of the child's country and home in which the school is located. One of the purposes of these exercises is to help the child adapt and make an easy transition between home and school. In practical life, there are 5 sections: preliminary exercises, care of the indoor environment, care of the person, grace and courtesy, and control of movement. Here we have a child working on the folding cloths. In this exercise, you can see that she is developing many skills, such as hand-eye coordination, development of spatial awareness, refinement of gross and fine motor skills. This satisfies her inner needs, such as order, benefiting her growth in self-confidence, her growth in concentration, her growth of independence, and continues to help develop discipline. Here we have a child washing windows and another child flower arranging, all developing the same skills and improving their independence. The purpose of the sensorial area is to help refine the senses. It is clear that a child absorbs knowledge and understands the world through the senses. The sensorial area's focus is to help the child discriminate and appreciate similarities and differences in a conscious manner. Each exercise in sensorial isolates the refinement of the senses. The five senses are visual, auditory, tactile, olfactory, and gustatory. In this exercise, the pink tower, this child is refining his senses by building the pink tower from largest cube to the smallest cube. And as you can see, he does not need any direction or guidance.
Michael, color box 3. I know what it is.
There are four main aspects in language: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. Her method for teaching language begins with oral language. She introduces oral language by showing them the beginning sounds of objects. This is an extension for beginning sounds, where the children are classifying the picture cards based on the beginning sound or letter of the word. The following exercises in language is writing.
Lila, can you trace starting here?
These two children are practicing their indirect preparation for writing. While they trace the sandpaper letters with their fingers, they are learning which hand is dominant and also classifying the sound with specific words. Once the child has memorized the sounds, they move to word building. Although this exercise requires putting letters together. It is not a reading exercise. Here we have a child moving on to the chalkboard writing, where she practices her fine motor skills with the letter sound F. The purpose of these language exercises is to build the child's vocabulary and create a love for literature and self-expression. The last section in language that is introduced is grammar. The overall purpose of grammar is to assist the child's reading, writing, spelling, and structure of language. The foundation of arithmetic was indirectly prepared in the sensorial materials. These materials are called materialized abstractions, which are concrete materials that represent an abstract concept. By doing this, Maria Montessori opened up the field of possibilities to extend the scope of arithmetic and meet the needs of the developing child, exploring number work without the fear of failure. There are 5 sections in arithmetic: numbers to 10, the decimal system, teens and tens, exploration and memorization. Where do your fingers meet? Aha. 1. 9 minus 8 equals 1. And passage to abstraction. All of these exercises aid the child to learn and enjoy learning math. Culture lays the foundation for the exploration of the world. It provides intricate relationships between the living and the non-living. Maria Montessori's exercises show the interconnectedness between the children, all of humankind, nature, and the world. Each example here shows you one of many exercises in history, geography, biology, science, and creativity, and their purposes of development. Here, A child is celebrating his birthday, and the children are learning about his life story. In geography, the children learn about their own continent and also the map of the world, discussing animals and families and even nature that live within it. Not only do they learn about their own human body, but they are also learning about parts of different animals. In this video, a child is learning about the parts of a reptile. Another subject the children learn in culture is science. Here we have a child color mixing. By combining the primary colors, she discovers the different colors that are created. Did you finish already, Bennett? That was fast. All right. Okay, you may clean up. Would you like to do it again?
No.
Maybe tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swamp water.
It does not. Now it looks like swamp water. Look at that. Look at how it turned a different shade of yellow.
Ow.
I wonder if the same colors you could find in the color book.
What color is it?
It's like a brown. Creativity is another subject in culture, and the purpose of creativity is to visually express an idea through illustration.
Two more minutes. One is green. One is yellow. One is red, and one is blue.
Levi, can you show me your drawings? You did it. With that, culture and education have no bounds or limits. Now man is in a phase in which he must decide for himself how far he can proceed in the culture that belongs to the whole of humanity. Maria Montessori's goal for all children is to create peace within their families, their community, and the whole world, all beginning with the mastery of themselves.